Hello, everybody. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio's Sales Professional Network. I'm your host, Andre Harrell. This is Blog Talk Radio's first and only show dedicated to the needs of the sales professional. And regardless of the industry that you're in, if you're in the sales business, this channel and show is really just for you. We do focus on topics that are relevant to all industries. And the commonality is that we in the sales business, as sales professionals, face similar challenges each and every day. And TSPN, the Sales Professional Network, really was sincerely designed to create a forum where we can all kind of come together and discuss these challenges and come up with some solutions and best practices to meet those challenges. Tonight's show is brought to you by AH and Beyond Consulting. That's AH, the number 2, and Beyond.com, delivering beyond our clients' expectations in sales strategies, marketing, and sales training. AH and Beyond really means increasing your competency, also means increasing your sales results. Tonight's short show is just my thoughts on last night's show, which featured the heading, Why is Failure in Sales More Important Than Winning? Of course, if you listened to last night's show, I want to say thank you so much for returning to get my thoughts on the subject. And if you did not hear last night's show, it is in our archive function here on Blog Talk Radio. So you can go in there or to my channel and hear that show in its entirety. And I'd also like to remind you that all of our shows are now available on iTunes for free. So if you'd like, you can go there and download your favorite shows or maybe even last night's show on iTunes. It's accessible there for you as well. As always, I'd like to thank the guest speakers who honored me with their presence and expertise on the show the night before. And that, without a doubt, is what I'd like to do now in thanking Gary Stair, Vice President, Business Development, and Sid Mallory, Senior Vice President, Business Development. And by the way, in tandem, they work superbly together. So if you're a host looking for successful business people who just play off each other very well, you might want to contact these gentlemen. Gary and Sid did a wonderful job last night, more so working through the thought process that failure can be ultimately an opportunity really to reach success. And it's not an easy process to explain. And I thought they just did a fantastic job knocking it out of the park. So if you did not get a chance to listen to last night's program, go check it out again in our archives function in Blog Talk Radio, or you can check us out again in iTunes, and it's a free download. Let me just put it out there. As sales professionals, we're in the business of success. We are. We're in the success business. And everything we do is built on the objective that we're going to get the sale, the account, which is a positive outcome, hence a successful outcome. Failure truly is not an option or something you shoot for, of course, in the sales business. I think we can all agree to that. So to say why failure in sales is more important than winning is not to say, nor was my objective in creating the show and the title, to imply that failure is good. It's certainly something no one shoots for. I have been asked repeatedly since posting the statement, why is failure in sales more important than winning? And the question pretty much comes to me as, Andre, what is your definition of failure? Now, certainly, we can all go to Webster's Dictionary, Wikipedia, and gather the prescriptive definition. However, the reason why I think I was asked that question is twofold. One, I think people threw that question at me as a snide remark, and that happens whenever you put yourself out there on the net, and you're allowing yourself to get feedback. Sometimes those are the responses that you get back in return. But I think the majority of folks who pose that question to me sincerely come from the place which is my main contention. Failure depends on who you ask and how you look at it, right? I answered the question by stating failure is defined by giving it power to define you. Let me repeat that one more time. Failure is defined by you giving it power to define you. Let me give you a personal story. I was extremely fortunate and blessed to have my first opportunity, smack dab out of college, with an extremely prominent healthcare company in the pharmaceutical business. This company today is still a giant. I thought I had died and gone to heaven at a very young age, and I thought this was what life is all about. Good things will happen to me all the time. Pretty much a typical young person's thinking of invincibility. My job was a pharmaceutical rep, carrying a bag and calling on physicians who were the customers. And at that time, I took over this territory called the Lansing, Michigan territory, which by far was the lowest performing territory in the entire country. You know, there was a joke at national meetings. Out of all the territories present in the entire company, the one that stood out the most was the Lansing, Michigan territory, because year after year after year, the territory consistently underperformed. You know, they say in the sales business, and even in corporate America, the most memorable salespeople or salesperson is the one at the top and the salesperson at the bottom. And it was going to be, quite frankly, hell freezing over until Lansing, Michigan, or Lansing, Michigan territory was going to be number one or even rising from the bottom, because year after year, everyone expected the Lansing, Michigan territory to be at the bottom in the rankings, in sales rankings. That was my job opportunity right out of school that I was blessed to have. And quite frankly, I was truly blessed to have that opportunity for so many different reasons. The physicians and customers, and just to give you a little background, the physicians and customers in Lansing, Michigan area were very conservative. I mean, at the time, they were still using leeches to extract blood, let alone thinking about utilizing anything with innovativeness around it. So coming to a market with a new product in the Lansing area would mean you'd have to wait at least a year or so until physicians, who again were our customers, felt comfortable to even look at your product, let alone prescribe it. So here I am, fresh out of school, a bit full of myself, big man on campus with this great job, not knowing what's ahead of me. Now, interestingly enough, and I have to add this, that one of the things is that I was the youngest among my colleagues in my district. And even back then, I was the only minority in my district. So now, before you click this off, it's not about race, and this is not about race, because my performance had nothing to do with the color of my skin. However, it is a dynamic that's real and, quite frankly, is woven into perception and perspective. So continue on the story. And you probably guessed it. Further, the outcome is that I went on to have some very, very challenging years in my first job as a sales professional right out of school. I never experienced failure like that in years prior to that job. I mean, it just literally seemed like I was never going to see the end of the tunnel. I received poor performance reviews by my management, constantly appeared and to stay on the PIP reviews. And for those of you who know that acronym PIP, Performance Improvement Plan, it was truly a down period for me. The young man who was full of himself and thought good things were always going to happen to him suddenly received the real true blessing of what I'd like to say life. But through all that, I can't really understand why, other than to say my parents instilled this in me, that my failures in life or my career don't define who I am as a person or human being. And I've always carried that thought my entire life with me. And I have enjoyed great successes in the sales business because of that. I love the sales profession. Heck, I hope someday I have my own reality show called The Life of a Sales Professional. I've already started to write out the script, by the way. Believe it or not. But folks, that's my message. Don't let failure define who you are. If you have a passion to will and a will to win and a fire in the belly and all those cliches in you, you will not have failure define you. You will define failure. Last night, we talked about the observation that if you fail consistently in any trade, that trade may not be a fit for you. And that's possibly true. And something anybody would have to kind of reevaluate. But if it's a passion and something, quite frankly, you just see yourself not living without, make it happen. Make it happen. You can fail 1,000 times, but if you want it, go get it. Just go grab it. Go grab it. There's a reason why people cry in exultation after winning a big deal or receiving a trophy or receiving a huge compliment or accomplishment. It's because they have just went through everything I've just spoken about. They didn't let the failures along the way define who they are. They succeeded defining the failures. Tonight's Afterthought show, has been brought to you by AH Square and Beyond Consulting. That's AH, the number 2, and Beyond.com. Delivering beyond our clients' expectations in sales strategies, marketing, and sales training. AH Square and Beyond. Increasing your competency truly means increasing your sales results. And if you'd like to contact us for our services, of course, you can contact us, of course, at ahsquareandbeyond.com. Our number is 267-221-8529. We can help you start building your planning and your sales strategies and opportunities for next year, 2013. So please give us a shout. Or if you have a new product coming to market, we can kind of help you develop your new product branding. Or on top of that, and wait, there's more. If you have a sales force in place and are interested in building from within a sales training infrastructure, we can help you devise that plan and build that process too as well. So again, that's ahsquareandbeyond.com. Our number is 267-221-8529. I want to leave you with the information for next week's show, which is June 26th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, Sales Professional Network meets every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock p.m. We will be having somewhat of a departure of the sales subject next week, but a show that is not only going to provide you with a different perspective on how you view life, but importantly, inspire you to tremendous heights. It doesn't matter what business that you're in, whether it's in the sales business or what have you. Sometimes hearing and experiencing the plight of others and hearing how they overcame to succeed provides therapy for us all. So we're extremely grateful to have Devin Hughes, who's been on our show before, to come in and talk about a personal story of race obstacles, life's sometimes cruelty, and persevering through all that. The title of next week's show, Leaving the Racial Witness Protection Program, a show that will hopefully captivate and inspire you all at the same time. So we certainly hope you come back and join us next week. That's June 26th at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, as I always do, I'd like to remind everybody that our show not only, of course, is in the archives view once the night's over with in Blog Talk Radio, but we're also available on iTunes and it can now be accessed in iTunes. So you'll be able to download, again, some of your favorite shows that we've had on iTunes, and it is a free download. And I want to repeat, it's a free download. So again, you have two venues to follow us, through iTunes and Blog Talk Radio. Please tell your friends and coworkers and constituents that there is a forum just for them. They're in the sales business, or you know what, even if you're not in the sales business, we do talk about other things unrelated to sales, but salespeople need to hear it too as well, because we hope we inspire everyone on an every Tuesday at 7 o'clock basis. So again, please tell your friends and please share word of mouth. That is the best form of marketing. So I hope you enjoyed my thoughts tonight on the whole subject, why is failure more important than winning? And I hope everyone, I truly do, and I mean this, I hope everyone got what I was saying, and I hope you had a chance to listen to last night's show so that you really kind of put in context what I was saying to you tonight. So please, don't let failure define you. You define failure. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening, and have a great rest of your night.